You weren't even that hungry. You just opened the cabinet, stared at the chips, told yourself you'd have a few, and now the bag is empty. You're still standing there, still not satisfied. You don't even remember the taste, just the motion, hand to mouth, crunch, scroll, crunch, scroll. You said today would be different. You meant it this morning. You always mean it in the morning. Then the afternoon hits. Work drains you. Traffic irritates you. Someone says something small that lingers longer than it should. You get home tired. Not physically, mentally. And the easiest relief is already waiting. Bright packaging, instant flavor, no effort, no patience required. You tell yourself it's just food. It's not that serious. Everyone eats this stuff. You deserve something. You worked hard. You didn't quit your job. You didn't snap at anyone. You held it together. So this is your reward. A soda, a drive-through, a frozen meal you can microwave in 3 minutes. And for a moment, it feels good, salty, sweet, warm, predictable. But later comes the heaviness, the quiet regret. Not dramatic, not loud, just subtle. You catch your reflection in a window. You feel slower, foggy, slightly disappointed, not because of the calories, but because you lost again. Not to hunger, to something else. And that's what makes it confusing. You're disciplined in other areas. You show up to work, you pay your bills, you keep promises to other people. So why does food feel different? Why does it feel like the one thing you can't control? You try to fix it. You download a new meal plan. You watch a documentary. You tell yourself this is the last time, and it works. For a day, maybe 3. You buy vegetables. You cook once. You feel powerful. Then life gets loud again, and you're back in line, ordering the same thing, acting surprised by the same result. It's exhausting. Not the eating, the cycle, the constant restarting, the mental negotiation. I'll be strict tomorrow. I'll start Monday. I just need more motivation. But deep down, you know it's not about motivation because you've been motivated before. You've felt that fire, and it faded. Not because you're weak, but because something else is stronger, something quieter, something built into your days, your routine, your comfort, your autopilot. Processed food isn't just food, it's convenience, it's relief, it's a pause button. It asks nothing from you. No chopping, no waiting, no discomfort, just open, eat, repeat. And your brain loves that. It loves easy. It loves fast. It loves predictable dopamine, that quick hit of pleasure after a long gray day. It doesn't care about tomorrow's energy or next month's confidence. It cares about now, and now feels heavy. So you feed it something light, even if the lightness only lasts 10 minutes. You don't overeat because you're greedy. You overeat because you're tired. You don't crave sugar because you lack willpower. You crave it because your life feels demanding. And this is the one area where you don't have to be strong. You can collapse into it. No one judges you for it. No one sees it as failure. It's normal. It's everywhere. Gas stations, office break rooms, advertisements whispering that you deserve a treat. Your entire environment is built to make stopping feel abnormal, to make control feel extreme, to make discipline look unnecessary. So when you struggle, you think it's you. You think you're broken, but you're not broken. You're surrounded by speed, by flavor engineered to override fullness, by portions designed to ignore signals, by routines that leave you too drained to resist. And slowly you start believing this is just who you are. Someone who can't stop. Someone who has no willpower. Someone who always starts over. That belief becomes heavier than the food itself. You stop trying as hard, because trying and failing hurts more than not trying at all. You laugh it off. Make jokes about loving junk food. Pretend it doesn't matter. But it does. Not because of your body, because of your identity. Every small decision is a vote, and lately the votes don't align with who you say you want to be. You want control. You want clarity. You want to feel sharp when you wake up, light when you move, proud when you look at yourself. But your days keep drifting, not in big dramatic collapses, in tiny compromises. One snack, one soda, one "I'll start tomorrow." And tomorrow keeps moving, always one day away. That's the invisible villain. Not the food itself, not the sugar, not the fat. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is patient. Tomorrow always forgives today. Tomorrow lets you repeat the same choice because it promises you another chance. But here's the truth. You're not addicted to food. You're attached to comfort. And comfort is louder than intention. Comfort says, you've done enough. Comfort says, it's been a long day. Comfort says, this will make it better. And for a moment, it does. But only on the surface. Underneath, something erodes. Not your abs. Your trust in yourself. Each time you say you won't, and then you do. You chip away at something deeper. Your word. And this is where everything changes. Because the real battle isn't between you and processed food, it's between the version of you that reacts and the version of you that decides. Reaction is automatic. Decision is deliberate. Reaction is driven by mood. Decision is driven by identity. When you live in reaction, food controls you. When you live in decision, you control the moment. Not perfectly, not forever, but enough. Discipline isn't punishment. It's alignment. It's saying, my future matters more than this urge. It's saying, I don't need to escape right now. It's staying present in the discomfort instead of numbing it. That's power. The ability to feel stressed and not reach. To feel bored and not snack. To feel tired and still choose with intention. That's not about macros. That's about self-respect. When you respect yourself, you don't negotiate with every craving. You observe it. You let it rise. You let it fall. Because you know urges are temporary. But identity is cumulative. Every time you pause instead of grabbing. Every time you cook instead of ordering. Every time you sit with discomfort instead of swallowing it. You build something invisible. Trust. And trust feels different than motivation. Motivation is loud. Trust is quiet. Motivation shouts on Monday. Trust whispers on Wednesday night when no one is watching. Motivation needs excitement. Trust needs consistency. And consistency is boring. It's repetitive. It doesn't trend. No one applauds you for not buying chips. No one films you drinking water. It's invisible work. But invisible work builds visible strength. Processed food is hard to stop because it's easy to start. It asks nothing. Discipline asks something. It asks you to tolerate a little discomfort, to wait, to prepare, to think ahead, to act like the person you want to become before you feel like that person. And that gap between who you are and who you could be, that gap feels uncomfortable. So you fill it with flavor, with salt, with sugar, with distraction. But the gap doesn't close that way. It widens. Because each shortcut reinforces the old identity. The one who reacts, the one who delays, the one who starts tomorrow. Freedom doesn't come from eating whatever you want whenever you want. That's not freedom. That's impulse. Freedom is walking past something and knowing you could have it. But you choose not to. Not from fear. From control. Freedom is not being pulled by every craving. Not being dictated by packaging. Not being predictable. You're not supposed to feel perfect. You're supposed to feel aware. To notice the moment your hand reaches. To notice the story you tell yourself. I need this. Just this once. I'll fix it later. Awareness is the first break in the pattern, and in that tiny pause, there's a choice. It's small. It doesn't feel heroic, but it matters, because each choice compounds, just like each snack did. You don't need a new diet, you need a new standard. A quiet rule inside yourself that says, I don't abandon my future self for temporary comfort. Not always, but more often. More often than yesterday. That's enough. You won't wake up one day immune to cravings. They'll still show up. After bad meetings, after long nights, after stress. The difference will be how you respond. Not with guilt, not with shame, with clarity. You'll see the urge, and you'll recognize it as a signal. Not hunger, escape, and instead of escaping, you'll stay. You'll feel the restlessness, the boredom, the stress, and you'll survive it. That's strength, not the ability to resist forever, the ability to endure briefly. 10 minutes, 15, long enough for the wave to pass, long enough to prove to yourself that you're not controlled, because the real cost of processed food isn't the weight, it's the surrender, the quiet agreement that you can't do better, but you can. You've done harder things, you've endured worse discomfort, you've stayed in difficult conversations, you've worked through exhaustion, you're capable. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about choosing who you are becoming, one small decision at a time. So the next time you're standing in your kitchen, cabinet open, bag in hand, pause, not because you're afraid of calories, but because this is a vote for comfort, or a vote for control, a vote for tomorrow, or a vote for today. And no one will see it. No one will clap. No one will know, except you. And that's the point, because the person you're becoming is built in private, in the quiet seconds before you decide. So when the craving hits tonight, when the routine whispers, when tomorrow tries to make a promise again, who are you going to believe? The voice that wants relief, or the voice that wants respect?